All right, guys, if you have seen this box before, you know the project that we're about to do. We searched forever last night trying to find the shutoff valve and the pressure reducing valve because my pipes we're working on today. You know, you all probably experienced that before at some point. Pipes are rattling. You know, this is going to be the solution. Your pressure reducing valve. That's going to take care of it. So we're going to show you how to do that. Obviously, if you're unfamiliar with that, you can call a local contractor. We would love to help you guys do this project on your own. So we're going to walk you through that. Now, unfortunately, we happened to find it, which was great, but unfortunately, it's under the living room. So we get to go crawl under the house and show you guys what we're up to.
Speaking of that, man, it's getting late and getting dark, and it's sure enough getting cold. So we better get going.
Follow me. Let's do it.
Dude, I can't see anything in here.
Lights on, but oh no. Okay. Come on, light. There it is.
So we've got this little entrance hole.
We get to squeeze through here.
Yeah.
And go back into the left. And I know I can make it through there. But
Jason, I don't know if I can fit through there or not.
I don't know about you. All right, I'm going.
That's easy for me.
All right, we're almost here. Well, that's one of us. All right. One down, 2 helpers to go.
All right.
Your turn.
Come on in, little guy.
Helper number 2. Common in the basement for under the house for the first time. All right, next up.
All right, Jace, you know this is probably my biggest challenge of the night right here.
Yep, well, I'm hoping.
I can sit up in here.
Good for video anyway.
Oh, no doubt.
Whoa, it's cool.
It's cool until a spider lands on you. Oh, here we go. Santa's coming through the chimney.
Oh, yeah, it's happening. We're going plumbing tonight.
All right, scoop, kid.
Where's that little thing?
All right, guys, we're all in. All right. We're underneath this house. And we got about, what, a 20-foot roll there to try to get in the right direction where
we're going at. We're going that way. So we'll get the tools down there and we'll get started.
All right, guys, so we've made our way to the shut-off valve for the house, and you can see the copper line coming underneath the foundation there, out of the ground, coming up to this valve. We're going to cut this valve off, and then hopefully this valve is still good enough to completely shut the water off for us. So what we've got is a piece of 3/4, if you can see, a piece of 3/4 pipe, copper line coming up and over and across over to the shutoff or the pressure releasing valve that we're going to replace. Jason has crawled right back out of the house here to go upstairs and turn some of the faucets on there. And also we've got a exterior spigot that comes right out of here. So this is a great one for us to turn on to help drain all this water back out of here. So hopefully once we break these joints loose right here, it won't give us too much of an issue. So he's going to get that done and climb back in, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so Jason's made it back underneath the house. We're fixing to get started. Everything has been shut off and all the water has been drained out. So what we're going to do is we've got 2 adjustable wrenches, and this has got a union on both sides. And then also the install on this previously was done with compression fittings. So these are compression fittings here. We're going to try to leave these alone. I'm simply just going to hold this just to try to keep it fixed in one location, and while we crack this one loose. That's what we'll attempt to do on both sides of this. And we're going to try to do this and keep everything as still as we can. You don't want to move this copper pipe any more than you absolutely have to. Alright, so we've got this one cracked loose, and before we go too far, let's go ahead and get this one too. So at this point, both of these are pretty loose, Jason. We just got to run them all the way off of there. And then hopefully we've got something to similar enough to get back on there as far as the length goes. And maybe we won't have to do too much plumbing here.
Keep our fingers crossed on that.
Okay. Alright, so we've gotten this thing loose, and this particular valve is made from Watts, which is also what we're going to replace with, is also a Watts brand, but it's not the same as far as how the body of the valve is made. This one had a union on each side. The valve that we picked up only has a union on this side. So, which in this case we're going to be okay anyway. We're going to end up having to take this union off of here. So this nut and this piece behind that nut's got to come on off to expose these pipe threads off this compression fitting. So this has got a ring inside of it. It's crimped down as this nut is tightened onto this copper line, and it converts it over to a 3/4 pipe thread. So that's what we're trying to get back down to. And then as you look into our new pressure reducing valve on the inside here, that is a 3/4 pipe thread also. So what we'll be doing is taking this one off and thread this directly onto it with some Teflon tape and things like that to make sure that we get a good seal. The other thing you want to look at, this arrow right here is the direction of the water flow. It's very important that you run this in the right direction, or you're going to have more issues than you had before you came under the house to get started. So it's going to be preset. These things are usually preset on like 45, I think. You can move these. You loosen this nut, and you can either back this bolt off or tighten it down into there to adjust the pressure. This one has a range from 25 to 75 psi. Here it is, it's set at 50 psi. So, and you know, with all these we've replaced, Jason, I don't think we've ever touched one as far as
no need to
actually having to adjust that pressure. So at any rate, let's get this union off this side and clean these threads up. We'll use this one again, I think, Jason, will be fine. This new one has a new O-ring in it, so maybe we'll just replace the O-ring inside there and clean that up, and should be good to go again.
Sounds good.
Alright, so we've exposed our pipe threads on our right side and pretty well got that cleaned up and ready to go. On the left side, we're going to stay with this union that's on here. Nothing appears to be wrong with it. We're going to clean that out. This O-ring we're going to replace with the new one. Not that this one looks bad, but we're here and we've got a new one.
Alright, we got the joints cleaned up here. We are going on the Teflon tape. Make sure we're putting it on in the right direction so it stays on as we tighten. And we'll do that on the other side.
Alright, so we're ready for the install now. We went ahead and threw some Teflon tape around this thread here of the union. Not really necessary due to the, it's got the O-ring on the inside of this. It's kind of embedded into the body of brass there of that valve, but we went ahead and put some on there anyway. It's not going to hurt anything. So we're going to thread this one right onto this side. I have to be careful with these pipes here. The distance is going to be about perfect, Jason. We're going to be good on that. So we should be good and tight right there. Shouldn't be any issues on this joint. Everything should be fine there, and now we're just going to hook right up into this.
And if we're lucky, we got some water tonight.
That's exactly right. Alright, so we've got the install complete. Everything looks good. We're here at the valve now, ready to turn that back onto the main line. We're going to turn that on really slow. There's been some issues with some hammering in here, and we can see where there's a few pops that are just loose throughout. We'll be in here another day, I'm sure, taking care of some of that. We're not going to address that tonight, but we're going to turn this valve on really slow, and then Jason, I guess you want to head on out as long as we're good in here.
Yeah, I'm going to head up and just kind of go faucet to faucet and get all the air out of the lines, and we'll be good to go.
So, all right, Jason, we made it out of the house. That in itself puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It was kind of tight under there.
It was.
And, you know, how hard was it to get in there?
Right. Not easy. I really thought we were going to find the shutoff valve, you know, near the hot water heater or somewhere more accessible, but instead it's under the living room floor. So
not where we expected it at all.
No.
Not at all. But you know what? We did it. Not a problem. So let's go over real quick. So what all purchases did we actually make?
The valve itself, some Teflon tape.
Yeah.
We did buy a couple extra connectors in case we got under there and weren't able to use what was already there.
Yeah, good point.
But,
good point. But we wanted to go in one time and be done and get out of there.
Right.
So we can take those parts back. You know, no money lost there. And so we used the Watts brand pressure reducing valve. That's not the cheapest one out there, you know, but this is not something that we want to go do again until we absolutely have to.
Right.
So we bought this for longevity, and it was almost just a direct replacement for us. We didn't cut anything.
True.
So
could not have gone better as far as that goes.
Right. And so issues that you were having, there were some problems that led us to this thing.
Right. We definitely heard some hammering, some chattering of our pipes in the walls. So I knew we were having some pressure issues, and then I noticed from my hot water heater, the pop-off valve, there was some water underneath that pipe. So that was my telltale sign there, and so then we began the project.
Yeah. So, you know, last night we spent like an hour just hunting this thing down.
Right.
And so once we understood where it was and had our game plan together, how much time did we actually spend under there?
Well, this was easily a 45-minute project from beginning to end, from the moments we gathered the tools to the moment we're back here putting them away. So quick project. It was a squeeze. We're in and out. Quick project. Again, we're in this for $100. Great value for a project that could have cost us a lot more than that. So overall, feel good about doing it ourselves.
Yeah, good deal.
And hopefully you guys feel good about doing it yourself. That's really the reason we're doing this, so that, you know, obviously there's a need for it to be replaced, but there's also a need for you guys to be able to do this for yourselves. And if we can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. Guys, appreciate you checking out the video. Thanks for hanging out with us under the house. We'll catch you next time.